There was a lot of cocaine involved. Drugs and guns don't go well together. Kick in, I'm eating Suboxone. We're still blowing lines while we're running from the cops. Why does it sound like you're smoking crack? I said, because I am,
Welcome to the Recovery Idiot. Please like and subscribe and visit therecoveryidiot.com. Home of all your recovery idiot needs. Please follow us on all the social medias and help us feel important. The following contains explicit language and situations that some might find unsettling. Viewer da scray shun is advised.
It's my professional voice. My name is Leroy. I'm a recovered alcoholic addict. I'm licensed to practice idiocy in 48 states. And today in the Section 9 studios is...
I'm Kenny. I'm also a recovered drug addict.
Are you a practicing idiot?
Sometimes.
Okay, well, that's important. You're one of those people that I've seen at meetings for a while, and I've heard speak several times. I believe you just picked up 7 years recently?
I did.
Shirley really wanted me to drill that home, and I don't know why.
Because, man, it wasn't supposed to happen this way.
Well, I don't think any of us are supposed to happen. So anyway, I know a little bit about you, but where are you from? Where you grew up?
So I grew up in a city called Waterbury, Connecticut.
So let's get started on the worst places to live in the state of Connecticut.
It's not a nice place by any means, man. The best way I could relate it to any other major city in the United States, it'd be like Detroit, Camden, some parts of Philly. It's just...
How does Connecticut get apart that bad?
Listen, people think Connecticut and they think Greenwich and like the rich areas, but they don't know that there's a belly of that beast.
This is Waterbury, home to 114,000 people. They call it Brass City, and this city doesn't shine like it once did. Waterbury locals complain about the insane amounts of traffic, the awful schools, and the not-so-rare sounds of gunshots each night. Oh yeah, this place has a crime rate that's nearly double other cities of its size.
It gets very nasty, I grew up in a Section 8 housing project. My parents were middle class. My dad had a painting business. He lost it. He was a bookie. He was also a biker. When I was a young kid, I seen things I probably shouldn't have seen, Like, I always made a joke, like I knew how to use a triple beam balance scale before I knew how to use a calculator, right? Because that one sat on my kitchen table. I remember walking into my father's bedroom, there'd be guns spread all over the bed. Like, these are things that, like, were just penetrated into my mind very young. Obviously, I was curious, so, like, it started there. Like, I was probably, like, 5-6 years old. I remember being, like, 8 years old, and I'm taking action over the phone, like, betting action, you know what I mean? And, like, these grown-ass men are calling me, and they're like, oh, yeah, I need 500 times in the Yankees. I'm like, all right, yeah, I got you, 500 times in the Yankees. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just squiggling it down and the way my dad would squiggle it down. And little did I know I was committing felonies at the age of 6.
That's impressive.
It's just racketeering, you know what I mean? We moved out of the project. Somebody got killed, like, near our stoop, and my father the next morning was like, hey, we got to pack it up. We're getting out of here. So we moved to this nice Italian neighborhood. And this was like a complete culture shock for me, right? Because I grew up in like a predominantly black and Latino community. So now I moved to what they call Macaroni Mountain. It's a bunch of spiky hair gel, True Religion jean wearing, Affliction shirts.
The Jersey Shore cast.
You're from Jersey, you get it, you know what I mean? Like, so...
The boardwalk people.
Yeah, so, I essentially had to, like, turn into that, right? Because, like, for the longest time, I thought I was black, right? Like, growing up in the projects, like, you are a product of your surroundings, you know what I mean? So, like, my mom used to be like, oh, what color are you? I'm like, black. Like, I didn't realize how stupid that sounded, but now I look back on it and I'm like, yo, what were you thinking? So at a very young age, like I got involved with, I started working at this restaurant. I'm not going to name any names because these places are still in business and I don't want to
shut them down,
slander anything. But
you can always say the word allegedly too if you need to.
Yeah. So I started working at this Italian restaurant and like, I was probably like 16 years old. I was doing what they call barbecues. We'd go out and do catering at all these parties. And it was like all the affluent people that would contract us. And there was a lot of cocaine involved. Right. Like, I'm talking like we used to go down in the basement of the restaurant, blow lines. And like, I remember the owner telling me like, hey, like, you don't ever rat on your friends. You know, and like the best way I could describe
Like
it
Goodfellas?
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and like not for nothing, my uncle was the first one to ever give me an ounce of cocaine. Like he told me, he's like, oh, you're going to make a lot of money. But I didn't really make a lot of money at this age because I seen what came with cocaine. It was women. I got an apartment and I would have girls just cleaning my apartment at like 18 years old. They were partially clothed, you know what I mean? But like, listen, if I could write a book, it'd probably be like a 500-page fucking novel. You know what I mean? Because, like, these are the things I've done. So, like, I started working in these bottle clubs, late night stuff. We, in Connecticut, bars close at 2. I know Jersey closes a little later. New York, obviously, is a city that never sleeps. But we would close our bars at 2, and I had what they call bottle clubs or after hours, and we'd open up, and we'd sell liquor and beer until, like, 8, 9, 10 in the morning. I remember my father calling me, and, like, my father, being who my father is, knew all these guys from the neighborhood. So he'd be like, where the fuck are you at? And I'm like, oh, I'm with Anthony. He'd be like, oh, you're with Anthony? Okay. Mind you, I'm 17 years old, right? So, like, I'm not supposed to be out all hours of the night. Like, school became, like, a second-class thing. I stopped going. I just walked out one day. And I remember my father came in with, like, a milk crate. And he was like, oh, you don't want to go to school? You're going to go to work. So I went back to school really quickly because I didn't want to go to work. I'm hanging out with these bottle clubs. I'm doing all right. You know, like, I'm bartending there. And eventually I ended up opening one. We made a lot of money, man, but my landlord was this Albanian cat. We were paying him the rent every month, but the rent wasn't getting paid, if you know what I mean. Like, he was taking the rent. I guess it was like a sublease, so he would take the rent. One day we come in on the weekend and we're getting ready to open after the bar is closed and the lights are off. So I call the building owner and I'm like, yo, why are the lights off? He's like, oh, I shut the lights off. I never got no money. So it turned into a big thing. We ended up shutting that one down. Ended up getting back involved with these guys that I was originally with, and I started working in this club. It was called Steel Lounge. I really made a name for myself, right? My nickname still to this day is K Mills back home, right? So, like, they used to tell me, like, we used to throw these parties. I'd get the door, so I would charge $5 a head. We'd pack it in sometimes 300-400 people.
Jesus.
But there's pictures of me with just folds of money, like, with a sports coat on and a white tee with a rosary, right? And, like, with women are all around me, and I'm like, the times I had as a youngin', man, like, it's crazy how I live my life today. Like, I'm home by 8. Like, this is past my bedtime. 7:30, like, I'm laid out by now, you know? And so anyways, I end up getting involved with these bars. I become, like, quote-unquote the manager of this one bar, Steel. We open a second one across the street, and now I'm kind of, like, pretty much running the day-to-day. Like, the owners are coming in, but they're just counting cash, you know what I mean? But at this time, I'm selling cocaine, like, heavily. Right, like, I got keys to both these places, so when the owners go home, we're staying, we're partying all night. I got random girls in there doing all types of random things. And listen, baby, I know you're gonna watch this, and I just want you to know, like, this is not who you are dating today, okay? So let's just put that out there. I had a score of friends, right? It talks about in the big book, like, we had scores of friends and this and that, but I realized, like, now that I'm sober, that all these friends were just fair weather. You know what I mean? Like, when I fell off the face of the planet, not one of them reached out to me. So back to the sickness. I don't know. I'm like 21, 22 years old. And if you heard my story before, like, my mother was murdered by her boyfriend. And like, my cocaine career is phenomenal at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm partying every day and I'm selling it. I'm making money. And my mom gets murdered. And this just sent me on, like, a downward spiral. So I'm 22. I'm hanging out at the bar that I run. And my homeboy comes in and he's like, yo, I'm moving to Miami. I said, what are you moving to Miami for? He's like, I'm going to school down there, St. Thomas University. I was like, he's like, yo, you should come with me. And I'm like, bro, I got affairs here. Like, I can't just up and leave. He's like, yeah, but your mom just passed away. Come hang out in Miami for a little bit. Get away from this place. So I go talk to my guy and I'm like, Aunt, I'm going to go down to Florida, Miami, and spend some time. He's like, yeah, go ahead. We'll make sure you're all right. So I would fly back every 2 months and do another going away party and make, like, a bunch of money. And then, like, yeah, I'm not staying, and go back. It was like a big scam. Like, all the time I would pack the house. So I'm in Miami. We're partying, bro. I'm talking, like...
What year did you come to Miami for the first time?
2004. Damn, I'm ancient.
Pre-pill mill days, kind of.
Oh, no,
Getting started.
We were just getting started.
Yeah.
So I'm in Mansion nightclub one night, and, like, look, we had money, so we're in Mansion, we're partying in the VIPs, and, like, all the big weed dealers and stuff would come down and kick it with us, and we'd get the VIPs, and you got Lil Wayne, Shaquille O'Neal, all in these VIP places, and we try to compete with them, you know what I mean, to see, like, how much money we could spend, and it was stupid. But so I'm in the VIP one night, and this Dominican cat comes up to me and he's like, yo, Papi, you ever try these? And he pulls out this little blue pill. I'm like, nah, bro, that shit ain't for me. And he's like, it's the next big thing. And I was like, what, that little thing ain't going to do nothing? He's like, I'm telling you, it's the next big thing. So me in my entrepreneur mind, I'm thinking, how much are they, right? He's like, oh, I do them for $1.50 a piece.
Jesus. Make a time machine.
Yeah. So $1.50 a piece. And I'm like, I look at my man next to me. I'm like, let us get 5,000 of them. Right? And he's like, yeah, I could do that. So this is before Pressies, right? This is like a legit, real Roxy codone or whatever anybody calls a Percocet. You call it whatever you want.
It's 30s.
So we had 30s, M boxes, whatever. My favorite ones were the K9s. I felt like they tasted like coffee when you sniffed them. So I'm in Hialeah, Taylor's Hialeah. You know, I heard Taylor's story. I'm in Hialeah, and I remember we had this guy, and I would pull up behind this building. He would just come out with a turkey baster bag full of them. And I'm talking like bigger than a football. Like, you know the cooking bags that you put the turkeys in?
As the gallon bags?
Full.
Oh, a turkey bag.
Yeah, the big, full, right? So we'd go back to the apartment, and we're cutting open stuffed animals, and we're stuffing them in the stuffed animals, and we're shipping them back up to Connecticut. And like, I really felt like a cocaine cowboy at this point in my life, right? Like, I'm like, yo, we're really doing this? Like, making money hand over fist, and I'm shipping them up, and they're flipping for $16 to $17 a pill, right? So you can see the margins there, right? It didn't cost much to send a package. So people caught on, you know what I mean? Like, so things were starting to take off. Literally, the first time I got arrested, the cop literally told me, he's like, you're part of the reason this city looks the way it does. Like, you're a piece of shit, you know? And
is that in Connecticut?
Yeah. This is in 2014. I'm jumping way too far ahead. I'm going to stick to the script. So,
that's a great line to be told by a cop.
Oh, it was terrible. It was such a eye-opening experience, right? So we're shipping these pills. Years are just flying by, right? Because I'm not even doing them yet. So I fly up north one time in the winter, and I'm with my man. I just talked to him today. I'm not going to mention names because these guys are all doing very well in their lives now. So, like, we can't put this business out there. And a lot of them ain't in recovery like us. And we're driving around. We're plowing snow. And he's like, yo, you ever try one of these things that you're sending up here? And I'm like, nah, it ain't for me. He's like, bro, you do just a half. You're going to want to shovel snow all night. And I was like, fuck it, bro. Break me out one, and crushed it up. I sniffed it, and boom. The best way I could describe an opiate high is a warm hug from God, right? Like, this is, you get this, you know, you get the warm
especially
feeling.
the first one ever.
It's so euphoric, you know what I mean? It just comes over you. You get the little itch, you know, and things are beautiful, you know?
Not that I'm encouraging it, but
It's
damn,
terrible.
was
Stay
it
away. That
an amazing feeling.
That experience is not livable anymore. Now you just die.
Well, and that's the thing, that you spend the rest of your life reenacting that first moment that never comes again. I had that feeling the first time I did a Perk 5, and then I had that feeling the first time I did an 80, and that was it. Chased it till 15 Narcan shots.
So the funny thing is, like, before I even tried this blue, I did an 80. I was at a 50 Cent concert, and this is when 50 Cent was at the top of his game.
Oh, yeah, that was a great time.
And I'm with another Albanian cat. Yo, Albanians, they're crazy, right? So I'm with my boy Jell-O, rest in peace. He just died a couple weeks ago, man, to this thing. And but he hands me a green monster, right? And I'm like, what the fuck do I do with this thing? And he's like, oh, sniff it, dude. So I crush it up. I'm in the stands at the Hartford Civic Center, and I blow this pill. I probably seen one song of 50 Cent because I was throwing up the rest of the time, right? And I was like, I'm never doing pills again. Sure enough, a couple years later, it changed up. So yeah, I do that half a pill, and I fly back to Miami. Now, you know, I'm my best customer, but I got an abundance of these things. So what's a couple pills a day? Like, if you're buying 5,000, 6,000 of them, 7,000 of them, what's a couple pills a day? It doesn't hurt your pocket. The years, it's 2006. My time in Miami is up. I got arrested twice in Miami. And I was laughing because you interviewed Taylor the other day, and she was talking about TGK, and you're like, are they towers? And no, they're not towers. It's a flat campus, you know what I mean? And like, I went to TGK, and this is how I know. And the jail you were talking about is Miami Metro. It's downtown. And that is nasty because I spent 20 days there, right? And I remember walking in, and I'm from Connecticut, so like right away you judge me, right? Oh, Connecticut don't got no hood.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell people I'm from Connecticut because they're going to think I got money, right? So I walk in and like, yo, where you from? I'm like, the Bronx, baby.
Yes.
So I lied right off the rip, and They're like, and what just so happens there's somebody from the Bronx in there. So like they're asking me where I'm from.
What street you're from?
I'm like, yo, Fordham and Walton, like Fordham Center. And he's like, oh, yeah. You know this guy? I'm like, yeah, I know him. So, you got to get in where you fit in, So now I'm young, right? I'm probably like 23, 24 years old. And as soon as I walk in this jail cell, I'm just start pumping out push-ups because I was in good shape. I wasn't like what I look like now. I'm not chubby back then. And I'm banging out push-ups. So 5 days goes by and I haven't showered, right? And I remember this big Haitian gentleman comes up to me. He's like, brother, you need to take a shower. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. I ain't taking no showers. I seen too many movies of what happens in the showers in jail. He's like, brother, nothing's going to happen to you, man. You got to take a shower. You're going to have problems if you don't. I said, fuck it. Let the problems come. So the next day, we're at chow. We come back. And there's a pair of shower shoes on my bed and a towel and some soap. You know what I mean? And he goes, brother, go take a shower. I got you. And for the first time, I was like, okay, this dude is cool. Like, he's going to watch my back. I took a shower. It was the best thing that ever happened to me, bro. Because 6 days of no showering, that shit is nasty, right? So I bond out of there. Mind you, I'm in there for a joint, right? I got pulled over and they locked me up because I was a flight risk. So Florida gets paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
They want to lock you up because they like to get paid per day. So they held me for 27 days. I get out. And they release you in downtown Miami in your blues. It's straight embarrassing. And you got to walk about 5 blocks to property. So I'm walking down the blocks and I'm in flip-flops and blues, right? And I'm walking. I get to property and they give me my clothes. We're all changing right in the middle of Brickell, which is Brickell now. It wasn't Brickell then. I get on what they call the Metro Rail. I don't know where this thing's taking me, but I got to get to Miami Gardens or Miami Lakes, which is right next to Miami Gardens. So I get on the Metro Rail. I was like, Opalaka. I'm like, all right, that's getting me closer. But at the time, I didn't know really what these neighborhoods were. So I take the Metro Rail up this way to Opalaka, and I get off, and I'm asking people, I'm like, yo, how to get to Miami Lakes? Like, yo, you got to take a cab, bro. Like, the train don't go any further. Miami Lakes is rich people shit. I'm like, I live in an apartment. There ain't nothing rich about that. So
it's the shittiest subway system
in
all of America.
And it still hasn't been updated to this day because I was down there a while ago and I was asking people and they're like, nah, it's still the same. And I'm like, I don't know why. One of the fastest growing cities in the nation can't get their metro together. So I get back to Bull Run Road in Miami Lakes. I jump in my homie's car and I head out to work because at this time I'm working at the Andre Belize Hotel in Miami Beach. I was the poolside bartender. I'm driving to work, so I pull off in Miami Gardens to get gas. And when you get off the exit, there's like a quick turn into there's a wing stop and a gas station. And it says do not enter, but me being the good rule follower I am, I'm like, fuck that, I'm going right here because it's quicker. I go and there's a state trooper sitting right there and a Miami Gardens cop talking to each other. And I pull up to the pump and they both light me up, right? And I'm like, yo, you got to be kidding me right now. So I get out, I just start pumping my gas. I act like I don't see him. And the dude gets out of the Miami Gardens cop gets out of the car. He's like, yo, you don't see me, bro? And I'm like, nah, I didn't even notice you, bro. And he's like, yo, get back in the car. I'm like, damn, why are you mad at breakfast? Right? He didn't like that. So he pulled me back out of the car, slammed me on the hood. And they started searching the car. Well, my buddy's car, guess what? There was some more weed in it. So guess what? I'm going for another ride, right? So we go back. They lock me up. They bring me back down to Miami Metro. And I walk in and the CO's like, damn, bro, you're back already? And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. He's like, it's time to move back to Connecticut, big fella, because you know what they say, come to Florida on vacation, you leave on probation. And I did exactly that. Like, I spent another 20 days there, and that's the time I went to TGK for 15. And I was like, as soon as my grandmother put up her house in Tampa to get me out. And as soon as I was able to get out, boom, I bounced, right? Because, like, I was supposed to be taking, like, drug and alcohol classes and stuff like that. And I took off, and I stayed. I didn't come back to Florida for, like, 10 years.
It's fucked up, like what you said. New Jersey, Missouri, I've been in jail in Kansas. I've been arrested all these places. You just go, do some time, you leave.
Yeah.
Florida has you go to classes, makes you register as a habitual offender.
Pay all types of money.
Do all this shit. You get a drug possession now, you lose your license. You got to pay all this shit, get special insurance. It's just such a fucking money-making racket to have criminals in Florida.
Yeah, pay to stay prison systems. Yeah, for sure. I go back to Connecticut. The pills are still coming. My boy is living down in Miami. He's shipping them up to me, and I'm distributing them. And but I got a gnarly habit at this point, right? So like I'm just busting them down. And all of a sudden, like a year or two into it, we get news that like the feds are stepping in on the pill mills and they're shutting all this stuff down. So we weren't in doctor shopping. We had the direct line to whoever the doctors were buying it off of. You know what I mean? So, but our man he got hit first. You know, so and then they went after the doctors. So like we dried up quick, and I remember the prices just started going up and up and up. I went from $1.50 to $6, $8, $12, and next thing you know, like I'm at the price I was selling them for. So we started selling them for $30 a pop. If you want them on the arm, they were 40, and but I couldn't keep. At this time, I'm doing like 36 pills a day. Right, my tolerance was so high that like one pill just kept me maybe well for an hour. I remember the first time I felt it, bro. Like I was in my bed and I called my man and he's like, yo, where you at? I'm like, I'm in bed. I think I got the flu. And he's like, you ain't got the flu, bro. I'm like, nah, I'm serious. I'm throwing up. I'm sweating. I'm shaking. He's like, I'm coming over. So he comes over and he pulls out a bag of pills and he's like, here, do that. I did the pill and all of a sudden
Felt
I was 100 times again. Better. He was like, yeah, you're a junkie. And I'm like, don't say that. He's like, nah, you're a junk box, bro. He's like, you're one of us now. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is what it is, you know. And so the game dried up, and at this time I had this girl. I was head over heels in love with her, but I love drugs more. You know what I mean? And I made this poor girl think she was absolutely insane. I never got to make an amends because it probably would cause more harm to her these days, you know. But when I tell you I made her insane, like she used to drug test me weekly. You know, and like I would keep the drug test in my car because I know it would get super hot in the trunk, and for some reason it always popped a false negative. You know, so like I would, as long as they were burning up in the car in 90 degrees during the summer, and I pissed in it, it said I was negative. So I'd be like, I told you, you stupid bitch. You know what I mean? You're dumb. Da da da. I was not a good person, man. Like I really took advantage of her heart and stuff like that. And eventually she left me, and I tried to get her back, and there was just no hope because it was all empty promises. I was never going to get clean at this point. So I lose my place. My vehicle blows the head gasket. I lose that. So like I'm starting to get the experience of a bottom. You know what I mean? I move in with this other chick, and I told her I loved her, right? Because
it's better than being homeless.
Yeah, you know, like, and I really did like her. Like, she's cool. We're still friends to this day. Like, I didn't tear her life down. Like, we were tearing each other's lives down, you know. But she introduced me to the little glycine bags, you know. I remember I'm sitting on the couch, I'm kicking, I'm eating Suboxone at the time, and I hear her going like, just flicking something, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing in there? She's like, oh, it's like Percocet, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? You see me? I'm over here. I'm sick. Let me get some of that, you know. And she comes in. And she hands me these little white bags with the AOL stamp on it, right? and I'm like, what is this? And I do it, and I blow a couple bags. I'm like, why does it smell like vinegar and feet? You know, she's like, oh, it's just synthetic Percocet, you know? So, what a dummy. So I started doing this shit, and I'm like, dude, the high was so greater than the Percocet or the Roxys or whatever you want to call them, that right away I'm like, how much is this stuff? And she's like, oh, it's super cheap. She's like, we go down to Jersey, we get it for like $26 a bun. I started getting it, and I started selling dope. My dope career wasn't great at all because that tolerance is just unbeatable. You just could do as much as you want once you got a tolerance for opiates. And
this is all just sniffing at this point?
I never shot.
Oh my God.
Never
would have
shot.
saved so much money.
100%. So I never wanted to though, like because I just had
well, that's good.
I had this idea in my head that like that was the bottom of the barrel, right? I was never gonna make it out. I'd probably die. So
well, you were probably right. So it was a good line to not cross.
I'm just sniffing hella dope, man, and don't get me wrong, I fell out a couple times, like where like I stopped breathing, you know, like I never had to get Narcan or nothing like that because I'm pretty sure this was before they even had the Narcan. But like there was a couple times where I had to get the sternum rubs, and like I remember somebody putting ice on my balls, you know what I mean?
And throw it in the shower.
Yeah, not fun. And I remember pissing myself one night, like it was bad, bro. So I'm doing dope, I'm selling dope, and I remember like all the dope dealers like, yo, Kenny, you're the bounce back king. Like, you fall off and you just come back up. Like I don't understand how you do it. And I'm like, because like I don't quit, right? I'm with my little brother one time, and my little brother just got out of prison. He did like a year flat for something stupid. Oh, he got caught with a gun and pills, but his gun was legal, but the pills weren't, obviously, right? So drugs and guns don't go well together. So He did a year flat with some probation. He finally finished probation, so we're running around, we're partying. I love my brother to death. Like, I don't mean to talk shit, but he was the hottest boy in the streets. Like, he always had to have the flashy shit. And I was low-key. I would always drive everybody else's cars and move around, right? But him, he'd go out and buy a Cadillac. He had to have the dark tints, the rims, the speakers. He had the big chains and whatever. So one day I remember he just got this Cadillac and I got like 50 grams of cocaine on me. He's like, yo, I got to take a ride, hit this lick real quick. You want to come? And I'm like, yeah. But I forgot I had the bag of coke in my balls, right? So I jump in the car, and I'm not even thinking, and we're driving around. I'm crushing up dope on a CD case, mixing it with coke. We used to call it a hot fudge sundae. We're blowing lines of this shit. We go meet my plug to get more dope. The kid jumps in the car, hops out. We pull out of the parking lot. They go one way, we go the other way, and we're driving up the road, and all of a sudden we come to traffic, right? And my brother's hyper focused at this point because we did a lot of yayo, right? So he's like, I think we're getting robbed. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I think we're getting robbed. Look behind us. And there's like this Chrysler 200, completely tinted out. And these big dudes get out and they got bulletproof vests on. I said, we ain't getting robbed. That's the boys. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. We're not getting robbed. We're going to jail. He's like, I ain't going back to fucking jail. Boom. Pulls off. He's driving like a madman. He's like, we got to finish whatever's on the CD case, though. So we're still blowing lines while we're running from the cops. And we turn the corner, and I'm like, go left. And he's like, nah, I'm going right. But I had a whole idea in my head. If he went left, we were going to go over a bridge, over a river, and I was going to throw all the shit into the river. But my brother, thinking younger, he went right because he thought he could outrun the radio. And he goes right, and all of a sudden, like in the article, it says, when they came crashing in the neighborhood yard, dude, we got T-boned, right? Like, the cops came out of nowhere. Like, there was hundreds of them. They said that we hit school buses with children on it. Anything to up the ante.
Yeah, they like to be dramatic.
Yeah. We get stopped, and finally, like, I kick the door open quick because I already know what's about to go down. I know these cops are going to whoop our asses because this is gang task force and vice, right? So, like, there's no rules with these guys, right? So I kick the door open, I put my hands up, and I hit the ground because I already know if I stay in the car, I'm getting my ass whooped. So I get out, I hit the ground, and all of a sudden I just hear doof, doof, doof. And my brother's like, that's all you got, pussy. We get locked up. We spend 13 hours in the bubble, right? Like, they're pressing us, like, who's the plug? And neither of us gave anything up, right? And, like, I swear, like, I hold my head high to this day for that because even at the end of the interviewing process, the cop was like, hey, I respect you boys, man. Like, we sat here for hours trying to get you guys to talk, and you guys didn't talk. Right? And, like, people are always going to say some shit like, they definitely talk. But in our case, we didn't. And I hold myself to a higher level for that. And because it's real easy when you're getting promised all that shit. Like, we can make this go away. Just give us who you got it from. And, like, but at some point, you got to have some level of respect for yourself because you do the crime, you do the time, right? We go to jail for the night. And I remember in Waterbury, they just got a jail in the police station. It's not like here where you go straight to county. So we're in the police station for the night, and they're going to transport us to court in the morning, and then we're going to go to the county. My brother's in the cell right next to me, and this is like old school, like steel
the bars that you can hang out with a little cup.
Yeah, metal bed, no comfort at all. And my brother's like, I'm getting sick, and I'm like, I'm not getting sick. He's like, how are you not getting sick? I'm like, bro, my life is flashing before my eyes right now. I said, you realize, like, we're looking at some major time right now, bro. Like, there ain't nothing in me that wants to be sick. So, like, he's like, I'm sick. I need something. I'm like, you ain't getting nothing. We're in jail. Like, this is what it is. So the next morning comes. I pass out because I'm tired of hearing him talk about being sick. I wake up the next morning. I'm sick, but, like, I'm more mentally preoccupied by what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? We get to the courthouse, and they got us in a big room, and the bail commissioner's coming down, and we're trying to get our bail lower because at this point, like, it's $300,000, right? And I'm like, come on, man. Like, you can't bump me down to 50. Just let me get out of here. And the bail commissioner's like, no. So my brother, he had a $500,000 bond because he was the driver. His got reduced to $250. Mine got reduced to $50. So I was able to bond out. They came in because now we're all in like this one big holding cell with a bunch of people that were going to court that day. And they're like, Miller. And me and my brother both 5 up. They're like, which one? And they point at my brother like, not you. He's like, yo, take care of business, bro. We got to figure this out. I'm like, I got you. So I get out, and I remember I had like 15 buns at the house. And I'm like, I got to go sell this shit. I got to get him out of jail somehow. Bro, I wasn't able to make no motion, right? Because nobody was fucking with me. I just got pinched. Like,
I thought you were going to turn him in.
Ain't nobody fucking with me. So I just did it all. My brother's calling me from the jail. He's like, yo, what's up? You been able to make anything together? And I'm like, nah. Like, it's not happening, dude. Like, he's like, well, I got this much money in my safe. Go get me this lawyer. And I'm telling him, like, yo, don't get this lawyer. This lawyer's a conniver. So we get this lawyer, and this dude is literally trying to tell my brother that I'm going to turn on him. You know, like to try to get him to turn on me to level out the time. So my brother, at the time I still had a liquor permit up in a small bar. My brother's like, yo, I'm going to take it all. And I'm like, yo, you sure? And he's like, I'm going to take it all. He's like, you can't have a felony because you got a liquor permit. If you get that felony, you're going to lose the liquor permit. So we're fighting this thing, bro, for like 4 years. In the meantime, we held it. Like my brother was trying to prove fruit of the poisonous tree. He was like on some real jailhouse lawyer shit, like reading books. So
he becomes a sovereign citizen.
It was so crazy. He's telling me on the phone, I'm like, Dave, we just got to cop out and just end this shit already because like it's getting old. At this point, it's like November of 2014. I don't know if you heard of my story, but every time I get sober, it's in November for some reason. That was the month my mother was murdered, right? So it's November of 2014, and I fly out to Colorado for my first real stint in treatment. I get to the airport, and I'm dressed in like a parka, winter boots, because I've never been out west, so I'm thinking Colorado is going to be like 8 feet of snow everywhere. I get out the airport, and I got a North Face parka on, big snow pants, boots. I walk outside the airport, it's like 75 degrees, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? And now I'm starting to get dope sick, so my man pulls up. This is the same kid I was living in Miami with because he was already in treatment. He pulls up, and he's like, come on, we're going to the spot. I'm like, yo, listen, we got to stop at a dispensary. I'm like, if I'm going to quit drugs, I got to at least eat an edible once in my life. That's legal. You know what I mean? So we go, and I walk in. I buy this 1,000 milligram Rice Krispie Fruity Pebble treat, and I eat the whole thing, right? And now, I'm not really smoking weed at the time, so I didn't have no tolerance for THC. By the time I get to this, I pull up to this treatment center. Mind you, it's like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? It's a big mansion in the hills of Colorado. We got putting greens, archery, movie theaters, steam showers, and I'm here on a scholarship. I don't even know how I got here, right? Because I ain't got insurance. And I walk in, and everybody's greeting themselves, and I'm just laughing at everybody. And everybody's like, what is wrong with this dude? And I just kept laughing. They're like, look, you need to go sleep it off. We'll do your assessment when you get back, right? Like, go sleep it off. I woke up 3 days later. Finally, I come in, I'm sick as hell. And they're like, sit down, we're going to get you medicated. And they hand me the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I didn't want to hear nothing about it. You know, like, I was just like, whatever, I'm here for 28 days. I got to get back to the streets. Like, I got to go get this paper. I start working for this treatment center. They told me if I got to my 9th step and I had a sponsor, that they would give me a job as a client advocate. So I get to my 9th step. I found the most sketchy, sober biker sponsor. And first thing I said, I said, yo, bro, how fast could you get me my 9th step? And he's like, oh, quick. He was part of a sober biker club out in Colorado. And he got me to my 9th step in like 3 weeks, right? And I made some crazy amends via postage and stuff I said shouldn't have been said. And it's probably why I can't make that amends I mentioned before, because I said some wild stuff in there. And he yelled at me. He's like, I told you should have talked to me before you did this. I'm working in this treatment center, and I elevate real quick. I start off as this little client advocate, and I move up to a site manager, and next thing you know, I'm running 2 facilities, right? This is how, like, even in my brain, I'm like, Ken, you are destined to be something because you always just bounce back. I'm running this female's house and the male's house, but I always spent more time at the female's house, right? Because it was just more fun over there. I remember one time we're in this thing, we had cohorts, so we would bring all the people together from the houses and we would hash out the problems. Well, there was this deaf kid, and he's laughing throughout the whole thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy laughing at? Right? I'm like, hey, go pack your shit, you're going home. I didn't know he was deaf. He just got there, right? So I thought he was being disrespectful, and I kicked him out, and then I got transferred to Los Angeles. I moved to Los Angeles, and if you look this guy up, you could go on YouTube, and it's called The Rehab Mogul.
Community recovery in Malibu and its owner, Christopher Bathum, for help. Instead, they say Bathum forced drugs and himself on Amanda, molesting her with meth on his finger.
His name is Christopher Bathum, right? And he was like the Kenny Chatman of L.A. He's running insurance scams. I'm talking like Cigna, like he embezzled like $275 million. 2020 did a special on him. He was all over the local LA Times, all the news. My father calls me and he's like, yo, is this the place you're at? Community recovery? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I fucking knew you'd be involved with some crazy shit like this. And he's just going off on me on the phone. I'm like, Dad, I had no idea what's going on. Like, I came here for help. At this time, I'm working in the insurance department. I type in my name, and I got like 5 open policies, right, under my name. And I'm like, who's paying for this shit?
Bathum said none of the allegations are true in a 2020 report before his arrest.
I deny this completely.
But there's even more to this story. His colleague, Kirsten Wallace, was also arrested. The California Department of Insurance accuses both of them of grand theft and fraud, saying they kept hundreds of people in a never-ending cycle of treatment while billing health insurance companies more than $176 million in fraudulent claims.
We get word the federal government's coming in, and mind you, I'm on bond, right? Like, I'm not even supposed to be out of the state, but I went, and the judge granted me that because I kept showing up to court and I was staying clean. We get word the federal government's coming in, and my boy in the insurance office is like, yo, I'm done with this. I'm not going to prison for this guy. And I was like, well, where are you going? He's like, oh, I'm going to go down to Anaheim. And I'm like, what's in Anaheim? He's like, I'm going to go on a mission. And I'm like, damn, I haven't been on a mission in a long time. At this time, I'm like 3 years sober, right? I was like, I haven't been on a mission in a long time. Let me roll with you. He's like, all right. So we go down to Anaheim or Costa Mesa, whatever you want to call it, and he grabs a kilo of meth. I've never seen meth. I'm from Connecticut. Meth wasn't on the East Coast yet. At this time, it's like 2015, 2016, and I'm like, what do you do? He's like, oh, you can sniff it, shoot it, smoke it, whatever you want to do. I'm like, oh, so it's kind of like the run of the mill. So he's like, crush up a little bit. He's like, we'll sniff some right now. So, dude, I fucking grab a shard and I'm crushing it. And this shit is breaking like glass. I'm like, this is not going to feel good. You know what I mean? And I blow this chunger of fucking methamphetamine. And this is like that Mexican super meth at the time. This is like when it was getting hot. It just came on. At first, I felt like I was on Molly. It came on real slow. And then all of a sudden, it was like... And I was up for like 3.5 days. I'm in Van Nuys, California, in the valley of Los Angeles. And thank God, like, I made it out of this.
When I grew up, it was called glass, like in clubs or bikers, and it was clean. The 90s, early 2000s, when you could do it. Then out of nowhere, that shit just turned into the devil.
Yeah. No,
and it was when Mexico started making it, because dumbass America cracked down on the ephedrine fucking laws.
Yeah, no, it's nasty shit, dude. I'm out in L.A., the place gets shut down, right? So now we're all squatting and like off of West 27th and Crenshaw. So that's the hood, right? We're all living in this mansion and on Crenshaw Boulevard. And
there's a mansion on Crenshaw.
Yeah, it was like low key West Los Angeles, but like if you went down the block, you were like in Nipsey Hussle's neighborhood. You know what I mean? And I remember like I'm out at this place called Master Burger one time, and I got a Yankees fitted on, and I get rolled on. They're like, "Where you from?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm not from here, baby. I'm just traveling through your world, you know." And they're like, yo, don't wear that hat around here. Like that's some wild shit. That's the Crips, you know. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, like, what am I doing here? So I got this girl in Colorado still. I never know what happened to her. She's out there somewhere probably still to this day. And she's like, oh, I'll move back to Colorado. I got an apartment. And I'm like, bet, because I don't want to end up on Skid Row. I'm not built for Skid Row. I like being clean. She's like, I'll buy you a ticket right now. I was like, get me a ticket. I'll be at LAX in an hour. So she flies me out to Colorado, and I move into her apartment, and we're just smoking meth, dude, off of tinfoil, right? Like, I get a job bouncing at a nightclub in Denver, and this is my life. Like, I'm just smoking meth and working in a bar. I'm eating burgers when I can. I find out my homeboy is still in Colorado. He's got an apartment on York Street. Subsequently, it's right across the street from the York Street Alcoholics Anonymous clubhouse. So he is living in this apartment. He's doing black tar heroin. So I go stay with him for a couple days, and I start doing black tar heroin. We're smoking this shit. I'm trying to sniff it with water because I don't like smoking it, so I'm mixing it with water and
that smell.
Pouring it down my... Oh, it smells like hot dogs. Like burnt hot dogs.
Black tar heroin, you can smell from a mile away. It's so good.
So we're smoking that shit. I remember we're going out to Aurora, Colorado to cop it from these Hondurans, and the dude would make us wait like an hour and a half in the cul-de-sac. And I'm like, yo...
We're going to get caught.
No, that wasn't even my thought. My thought process was like, I'm going to rob this motherfucker, bro. Right? So my boy is with me, and he's like, yo, don't rob him. He hooks me up. I'm like, bro, nah, fuck that. He's disrespectful. He's got us sitting over here. I'm like, I'm going to stick him, bro. And he's like, nah, you can't. And I know this dude got like a mouthful of balloons. You know what I mean? So like he gets in the car, and my boy's just looking at me, and I'm like, I gave him the pass, right? I didn't do it because he was begging me not to. But the best cocaine I ever did was in Colorado. It was pure as the driven snow. my boy decides that his father's not doing too well health-wise out in Boston. And he's like, yo, I need to go be there for my father. And I'm like, bro, you're strung the fuck out. Like, how are you going to go be there with your father? And he's like, I'm going to take Suboxone. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, good luck. Like, he packs up the apartment and he leaves. So I go back to live with that girl that's smoking meth. And eventually I get a phone call from my boy, Abe the Jew. Right, and this is like a long time good friend of mine, and he's like, yo, bro, it's time to come home. Like, you're obviously not doing too well. Like, just come stay with me in New Haven. And I'm like, all right, I'm coming. So I go out there. He puts me up in his house, and now I'm like smoking bud, but secretly I'm driving back to Waterbury to cop dope during the day, and I'm grabbing out of the pounds of weed at his house and just trading it for heroin. Right, so I'm fucking high as a kite. I'm going to the gym. I don't think I'm getting anything done because I'm fucked up, but like it makes it look good. Appearances are everything when you're in this shit, right? And like anybody that doesn't knows, you gotta like keep up appearances. I get a phone call from one of the girls that used to work for me at this treatment center in Colorado, and she's like, hey, I got a job for you if you want it. I'm like, what is it? She's like, it's in treatment. You want to work in treatment again? I'm like, what is it? She's like, you be business development. It's in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Okay.
Where the fuck is that?
Right. So, I've been here once before because my buddy's mother lived here. So we stop here on the way to Miami all the time.
Oh, okay.
She's like, we're going to fly you out. We're going to interview you. You're clean, right? Absolutely. Right? I'm clean. So they fly me out to the shores, treatment and recovery. Shout out Lyle. I don't know if he watches this, but great guy. They fly me out. They put me up in a hotel in St. Lucie West, and then they pick me up in the morning. There's 3 other people that are candidates for this job. These guys are all suited up. I come out in a polo jeans and a Yankees fitted, and I'm like, let's go do this, right? So I go there. I sell myself. Right, they love me, dude. Like, I got to talk. I'm gonna get the job done. I beat these other 3 guys out. They're like, all right, it's time for the urine. Right? I'm like, bet. I bought a monkey flask before I left Connecticut, so it was like the fake urine. I had it strapped to my leg. Put it in the cup. Passed with flying colors. They give me the job. I think it was like $80,000 a year plus bonuses. I'm like, bounce back king. Here we go, right? I'm on the rise again. So go back home. I'm trying to get finance for motorcycles and cars and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh. This ain't gonna work out. The dude that I was living with on York Street, I get a call from his mother, and he's back in Boston, and he's strung out to the gills. Like, he's doing Mass Ave, like some wild stuff out there.
The Suboxone wasn't working anymore?
No. It didn't work out for him too well. Mom's like, what can we do to help him? I'm like, hey, give me his number. So I start calling him daily. I'm like, hey, bro, like, you gotta give in. Like, you're killing your parents, da-da-da. And eventually, like, after like 3 or 4 months, I got him into treatment. Right, and he calls me 2 years later, and he's like, hey, bro, I just want to thank you. I got 2 years sober. Mind you, within that 2 years, I came down to see him on his 90th day, fresh out, and I was high as a kite. I was bringing my cousin down here, and I'm still working for the treatment center. My cousin's doing fentanyl at this time, and he's falling out every hour on the ride down from Connecticut because I drove him down because he was scared to fly, and he left like 2 bundles of fentanyl in the car. So like, I go stay at the Howard Johnson's on US 1 over there next to Casa Amigos. I'm doing the fentanyl, right? But like, the thing I didn't know about fentanyl is that I'm allergic to it. So like, as soon as I did this bag, I just break out monster hives all over the place, bro. It was gnarly. Like, so they come get me the next morning, like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. I think they got bed bugs in here or something. Get my cousin into treatment. I go meet my boy 90 days to celebrate. I pick him up in my cousin's car. I'm like, yo, let's go to Miami. I want to show you where I used to work and stuff. We drive down to Miami. This kid's sober, bro. We stop at my boy's apartment. He lives in a high-rise on Brickell. He's smoking weed. I'm like, give me that. I'm blowing the L's down on the balcony. And my boy's just looking at me. He's like, maybe he's got it, right? Maybe he's got it figured out. So we go to Bodega Taco after that down on the beach, and they got free margaritas when you order your tacos. So I'm up there pouring them, drinking mad margaritas. And he's just looking at me, and he's like, I think he's got it. He's like, maybe you got it. Ken, you got it figured out. I'm like, yeah, you know, like, I could drink here. I'm doing all right. I get back up to Port St. Lucie. I drop him off with his girlfriend. I ride back out to Connecticut. I'm not doing good at all, right? Like, these people, I'm on conference calls with the people from the treatment centers. How many people got in the pipeline? And I remember it was like May of 2016. And I'm like, none. They're like, all right, Ken, we'll talk to you later. And I get a phone call from the director of admissions the next day. And he's like, Kenny, in my 15 years of working in the treatment industry, never have I had a business development agent tell me that they got nobody in the pipeline. He's like, yeah, so we're going to part ways. He's like, because it just shows that you're not even trying. So boom, I get fired from there. And it's just off to the races again. I'm trying to find a job. I'm sleeping at my boy's house, not paying no bills, man. He's supporting me, and my case closes.
It's still the whole time this has been going on.
My case closed in 2016, 2017, like that. I got 3 years suspended with probation with the possibility of doing 15 to 30 if I fucked up. My brother took a 7-year sentence, maxed out at 30 if he didn't get out on good behavior. My brother ends up doing his time. I took a felony charge. My brother calls me from the prison. He's like, yo, why the fuck did you take a felony? He's like, I didn't take all this time for you to get hit with a felony. I'm like, bro, they threatened me. They told me, like, if I didn't take the felony, I was going to go up the way. So I just took it. And he's like, you're so fucking stupid. He's like, you need to call them back and tell them half this shit was yours. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you want me to do it? And he's like, nah, I'm just joking. He's like, I'm going to hold this down. So my brother's a G for that, right? So he does this 6.5 years flat. He comes home, and the whole time, bro, like, I'm running, right? Like, I'm not getting well. And the whole time, like, I know in my heart of hearts that, like, I need to do something for this kid, like, and get well, because he doesn't, what kind of respect is that? Like, he took all this time for me, and I'm still out being an idiot. It's like the year before he gets out. It's 2018. It's November, and that's when I get the phone call from my boy that's like, yo, I got 2 years sober, bro. Thank you. And I'm like, yo, that's what's up. You know, and he's like, why does it sound like you're smoking crack? I said, because I am, motherfucker. What's it to you? You know what I mean? And he's like, let me return the favor. So I'm like, yeah, I just got to get back to AA, bro. I know what to do, you know. And he's like, all right, bro. He's like, well, there's a flight if you want it. He's like, just let me know. So I walk outside. I take a blast off the pipe, and I'm looking around. There's no leaves on the trees. It's cold. It's November 10th. And I'm like, Florida sounds real good right now. So I call him back. I'm like, hey, I'll go. And he's like, all right, flight tomorrow out of Westchester County, New York. I'm like, no. I need a couple days. He's like, for what? I said, I can get my affairs in order. He's like, Kenny, you don't got no fucking affairs to get in order, bro. He's like, you're a junkie. He's like, you got 2 days. So I ran around. I went to every fucking plug in the city of Waterbury and New Haven, and I took shit on the arm. I kept telling them there was a big spender coming into town from out of town, and I needed samples. And I would just go around, get half a buns from everybody. And nobody even caught on, but like I had a stockpile of dope. Finally, the day's here. My boy picks me up to drive me to Westchester County, New York airport. At the time, he's sober. So he picks me up, we're driving, and I pull out a crack pipe in the car. And I shove a whole 50 rock in that bitch, and I blast off right in his passenger seat. And he slams on the brakes. What the fuck is that? And he blows his brake line, right? So now my boy that's in Florida waiting for me, his fiance at the time is like, he's not coming, bro. Like, don't get your hopes up. Like, you know how this is. And I was really trying to get here. And he blew the brake line, so I missed the flight. And my man calls me. He's like, yo, you're a piece of shit. Like, you told me you were coming. I was like, I'm still coming, bro. I'm going to another airport. My boy Pat got me another flight. So I get on this flight at another airport, and I fly down. I'm like an hour and a half late, and my boy's coming to pick me up. I call him. I'm like, I'm here. He's like, bro, you got like an hour before I can get down there. He's like, I'm running my business. He's like, you got to wait. He's like, this is your fault. I'm like, perfect. And he's like, what do you mean perfect, bro? I'm like, perfect. Gives me plenty of time to do what I got to do. And he's like, you didn't. I'm like, I fucking absolutely did. So what I did was I rolled up a bunch of heroin in my socks, right? And shoved it in my suitcase. And I went in the bathroom and I went to town on it. I did it all. By the time he gets to PBI, I'm outside. I'm just leaning, like falling over. And he's like, get in the fucking car right now. And I'm like, what? He's like, get in the car. You look like a fucking idiot. I get in the car. And he's driving a brand new X5 BMW. And I'm like, yo, your parents let you use the car, bro? And he's like, bro, I got 2 years clean. You get your shit back. You know? And I'm like, nah. I'm like, this is your parents. He's like, bro. He's like, I worked my ass off. He's like, this is my car. He's like, come on, we're going to treatment. So we're headed up 95, and I noticed the road's shrinking. 95 goes from 5 lanes to 4 to 3. You get into Jupiter, it's like 2. And I'm like, where the fuck am I going right now? Sure enough, I'm headed back to that spot God placed me in before, Port St. Lucie, Florida. We stopped at a McDonald's in Stewart, and there was a bunch of Jamaicans in the parking lot, and they're smoking trees. And I'm trying to talk to them about getting some trees from them. My boy's like, yo, if you don't get in the fucking car, I'm going to leave you right here, bro. We pull into this place called 12 Keys. I'll tell you what, man, like that place changed my life. And if you guys, anybody listening has ever heard of 12 Keys, this place was like big book intensive, man. Like they pounded it home for me. And I worked the steps and I had a revolutionary experience. My life is completely different today. I've worked in a bunch of treatment centers, and that's how I know Taylor and Shirley. So real quick, before I cut off this whole situation, I'm going to talk about Taylor and Shirley a little bit because they deserve some recognition. Since they didn't give me any in their moment, right? These girls are fucking nuts, bro.
Yes.
Like, you know this, right? Yeah, you experienced it. So I'm the tech at RBS. These girls come in, and I'm like, first off, like Taylor walks in and she's got like these little thigh-high shorts on, little skimpy shirt. And I'm like, bro, what is going on right now? Like, this is going to be the death of me, right? And then Shirley comes in with her big, bushy Colombian hair, tall. And I'm like, she's threatening my life, right? She's like telling me she'll kill me and this and that. I hate to sound cocky, but I saved both of those girls' lives, bro. It wasn't God, it was me. You could ask them. Like, they didn't give me
both know.
Yeah. Like, I literally like would sit there with my big book and read it at night while they were all sleeping. And Shirley would come into the room and be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just, reading the big book. Like, I feel like this is what's going to keep me doing what I'm doing. And Shirley, thank God, she grabbed on really quick. Like, she seen how it worked in other people's lives, and she got well, man. And shout out to Shirley. That's my sister from another mister, And as much as sometimes I want to punch her in the face because she acts like a dude, but
yes.
But I don't know. I mean, I got plenty of stories trying to figure them all out and remember them all. Like I said, like if I had to write a book, I could write a huge one. It's just the timelines get spewed, right? It's because now it's 7 years sober. And how long you been around? Same time?
6.
6?
This time.
Yeah, so so the story, it gets spewed after a while. It's like, do you really want to talk about this stuff? And I'm so used to telling the prim and proper one for Alcoholics Anonymous that trying to get back into the sickness is nearly impossible.
I think you got it covered really good.
I hope so. I hope. So look, work the fucking steps, help some people, trust God, and I promise you your life will be unfucking believable because that's what happened to me. Today I got 7 years sober.
Oh, no. This is what's happening. Could give some really good advice, and you can't fuck it up.
You can't even get on the couch? Yeah, we're going to pet at the same time.
It's like a walrus or a sea lion.
So yeah, as I was saying, like, work the fucking steps, help some men and women. Like, if you're a girl, stick with the girls. If you're a guy, stick with the guys. Trust God, keep your side of the street clean, and you could have a life beyond your wildest dreams. I came down here with a pair of sweatpants, a white tee, and some soiled Nike Air Maxes that smelled like death. Today, I have 7 years clean and sober. I own a business. I wouldn't say it's a profitable business, but I'm well on my way. I have a beautiful family at home, nice little house. I got a couple trucks, and fuck all the material shit, but today I got God in my heart, and I'm able to help other people when they ask, That's my main goal in life, is to help as many men as possible, even though sometimes it just doesn't go as planned because they piss me off. But help others, man, and trust me, you'll see a whole new life through a new pair of glasses. My name is Kenny. Thank you for having me, Leroy. I really appreciate it. It's a great experience getting to share my story with some people that don't know me and aren't from our direct rooms that we go to, because there's so many people out there struggling that need to hear it. And I feel like sometimes the message isn't what we get. We're so blessed in the Treasure Coast to hear the messages we get because I've been to other areas and it's not the same.
No, it's not.
I don't know how it is in Jersey, but in Connecticut, it's like, put the plug in the jug and don't drink.
I was never in meetings up there, but I was in Jacksonville for a long time in the recovery community in Jacksonville in 2007. And what that meant was we'd go to meetings, we'd make friends, and we'd find new people to go get high with.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, that's what it is in most places.
But yes, thank you. And that is the mission, to get this message specifically out to people who may never come in contact with us.
Correct.
But have access to YouTube or Instagram or whatever it is. And now Fatty's ruining everything.
Fatty's here. He's a cutie. Thanks, guys.
But not every part of Connecticut's nice. There are some really bad places here, too.
A man who owned and operated 13 Southern California drug treatment centers has been convicted of sexually assaulting 7 patients. 56-year-old Christopher Bathum owned community recovery treatment centers in L.A. and Orange counties, as well as 6 in Colorado. Prosecutors said Bathum provided patients with drugs and then assaulted them while they were high. Bathum also faces charges of insurance fraud, theft, and money laundering in a separate case.
Thank you for watching The Recovery Idiot. Don't forget to like and subscribe and visit us at therecoveryidiot.com. Don't forget to follow us the way we follow your moms. If time travel is ever possible, that means it has always been possible. That means there is no excuse for us not to have $50 30s. Figure out that fucking flux capacitor and let's fucking go!